Good morning, children. I hope you all are fine. I hope you all enjoyed the festival of Raksha Bandhan, which was day before yesterday. Now, today 5th of August, we are going to start lesson number 5 of your SST. The name of the lesson is Concept of Time. Okay, what is the name of the lesson? Concept of Time. Children, time. Before starting the chapter, let's understand what is time. Children, time is a very valuable thing in our life. Everything can be gone, can be replaced, can be made new, can be regained, but time is the only thing which once passes or which once gone cannot come back. The time which what are we doing right now at the present situation, it will, when it will pass on, we cannot go back and change anything there. So time is very important, very valuable thing in this whole world. Means more than money, time is value. I hope you have learned the quote, time is money. Okay, now today we are going to study how time is being measured, how things came into existence, how we measure time and all. Before studying this, we'll see in our earlier times when clocks and all were not there, how people used to measure time. Have you thought this? If clocks are there now, you can very easily see the clock and tell ki, this is 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock or whatever. But earlier we were not having the clocks. Then how people used to measure time? Have you ever thought this? Children, it was very difficult for the people at that time to measure time. They were completely dependent on sun. They were completely dependent on sun because how they are dependent? When sun rises, everybody know you now also we are following, it's a morning time. When sun rises, we say it's morning. When in the mid of the sun, that in 12 o'clock it is afternoon, then evening, and then night. But now we are very easily saying this morning, afternoon, evening and night. But earlier we were not having the clock, means they cannot say 12 o'clock means afternoon or 5 o'clock means evening. So what they used to do, their mindset was set that when the sun will rise, it's morning time. We have to go to work. We have to work for the whole day. When sun sets, we have to come back to the work, come back to home after the work. Then when it is dark outside, we have to sleep. So their clock was the sun only. They were completely dependent on the sun. They don't. Sun was the only clock. They used to measure their time. They used to set up their schedules and all. So the sun was the only source of measuring time. Now, slowly, when things got invented, the inventions come. Then first thing that came was sundial. Children, now what is the sundial? Sundial is a normal flat plate on which the numbers are written. The numbers which you are using are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 numbers are written, and in which center a stick is being attached. On the time, how the time is measured using sundial was when the rays of sun fall on that stick, the shadow of the shadow of the rays of the stick falls on the number. So in this way people used to calculate the time. But this device worked. It works in a good way, but there was a drawback in this. What was the drawback, children? The drawback was when there is no sun rays. Means if the weather is not good, if it's raining, it's cloudy, then the sundial was not of any use. With little more inventions came time stick. It was very similar to this only, but it was framed on a stick way, and the stick is it is being held, and the stick is being stuck there, which tells the time. So after these two inventions, slowly when we move forward, in the 14th century came mechanical clocks. It was first invented by Europe in 14th century. This was the clock which now also people are using. Numbers are written on there, the clock, minutes, hand and all, everything is there. They tell us the time. With little more improvement, in the year 1656 came pendulum, in which below the clock a pendulum is being attached, which moves like this, which swing like this, and it creates a sound after every hour, maybe after every 2 hour or every 6 hour, however the timing is being set in that. Then with little more improvement came pendulum clock, came the quartz clock. and after this came the atomic clock. Children, quartz clock came in the year 1927. These are the clocks which we are using, which we are wearing. Okay, and the atomic clocks. What is the difference between this is, children, quartz clock or pendulum clock, all these clocks tell the time in the 12-hour timings. Means they tell us timing from 1 to 12, then after they repeat again 1 2 3, again 1 to 12 in AM and PM. Okay children, now but this atomic clock, what they do, they tell us the time after 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, then 13 14 15 16 till 24. Mean these are the digital clocks. When you go to higher classes, you will learn how to convert 12-hour timing into 24-hour timing or 24-hour timing into 12-hour timing. So by this I have explained you about the history of the clocks and all, how they came into existence. Now we are going to study about the measurement of time, how the time is being measured. Okay children, now we are going to study how to measure time. To measure time, three basic units are used: seconds, minutes and hours. On basis of this only, there are three hands in a clock. This is your long hand, this is your short hand. Long hand, which tells us the minute, is called a minute hand. Short hand, which tells us the hours, is known as hour hand, and this hand is known as second hand. Now I'll tell you how this works. See children, when this second hand moves from starting from 12, it comes and go again to 12. When it completes one round, that means it has taken the 60 tick, means it moves like this, tick 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 tick. So the 60 times this second hand has done the tick tick tick. So when one complete round of second hand is finished, then it becomes 1 minute. Means 60 seconds is equals to 1 minute. Okay, 60 seconds is equals to 1 minute. Now children, when this minute hand, this is your minute hand, it also moves like this only in the same direction. When minute hand start moving from 12 and it moves, it again come to 12, means it has taken 60 minutes. Okay, so 60 minutes is equals to 1 hour. Means when this minute hand starts from here and comes back to 12, it completes one round, then it has taken 60 minutes, and then we will say it has completed 1 hour. It has completed 1 hour. Okay, so this is called, now we can say that 60 minutes is equals to 1 hour. Now children, this short hand also moves. Children, I hope now you are clear with the second hand and the minute hand. Now let's move to the hour. See children, in this clock, if you can see in this clock, the time is 2 o'clock. Long hand is on 12 and the short hand is on 2. The number on which the short hand is the time which is going on. Okay, this what I told you earlier, that second hand completes one rotation, makes 1 minute. Long hand completes one rotation, makes an hour. When one rotation of the long hand is completed, then this short hand moves to the next number. Okay, it moves to the next number. So like this, after every rotation, then this short hand will move to next number and reach again to the number 12. See children, the face of the clock has only 12 digits. So to complete one full day, in a day 24 hours are there. So to complete one day, this short hand has to take round twice. This long hand and the second hand are continuously moving. Okay, but this short hand is not continuously moving. It moves only when it moves very slow. Okay, it moves well at the speed. How the long hand is moving, in that way the short hand moving. When the rotation of it completes the half rotation, then this short hand will come between the number 2 and 3. When this rotation is completed, then this short hand will completely come to number 3, which will tell you that the time is 3 o'clock. So this short hand has to take 2 rounds to complete one day, that is 24 hours is equals to 1 day. See, after this day, Okay, now I think the seconds, minute and hours are clear to you. Now we'll move little forward. After this day, one day means one day is completed. Now if the days we calculate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I hope you know the days of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So when 7 days completes, it makes a week. In the same way, when 4 weeks are completed, it makes a month. And when 12 months, January to December are finished, then it makes 1 year. So, like this, the cycle of the time moves. Start from the seconds and ends at the year. So, and one thing more I want to tell you, there are 365 or 366 days in 1 year. This all things are given in your book also. You can learn from there, but this is very important. You have to learn it, okay, and also understand it. Now, next thing which we are going to see is telling the time. So children, as I told you, now we are going to study telling the time. Children, the day begins with the rising of the sun. It is called morning. I hope you can see the pictures, children. In the first picture, a lady is washing the clothes and letting the clothes dry in the sun. So your mother's days start with this only. After she has to clean the house, she has to clean the clothes, she has to prepare the food and everything. So the day begins when the rising with the rising of the sun. It is called morning. What is the day time called? It is called morning. Now what is your schedule, children? You have to go, you start your day when you go to school. We go to school in the morning. And if you have observed, if you not observed, then you can please see that around 12 p.m. the sun is high up in the sky. The sunlight is very high in the sky. Okay, it shines brightly at this time. At this time, at 12 o'clock in the noon time, the sun shines very brightly. The shadows are short at this time. This you have to learn, children. During the afternoon time, in the midday time, the shadows are formed very short. We call it noon or a midday. Okay, means half day, midday, center of the day. Then gradually after 12 o'clock, gradually the sun seems to set, means it immediately won't set around 2 o'clock and all. Slowly the light of the sun dims, and by the end near about 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, depending upon the weather, the evening comes, and slowly the sun goes out of the sight. And when it is dark, we call it night. During night, the moon and stars are seen in the sky. Hope you all have observed this, children. During the night, what do you see in the sky? You see the stars, the moon and the stars and the moon in the sky. It is the time for your dinner, means now that this is a time you have to have your dinner and go to bed and sleep. And again in the morning the same routine starts. In the morning starts with the sun rises. You have to go to school, you study, then you come home, you have your lunch, then you play in the evening. Like this the cycle of the life is going on. Okay, now next thing which we are going to study is the meaning of timeline. Timeline is a method, in short, I would like to tell you that, children, timeline is a method to represent, to tell anything in a proper order. Let's take an example only first. This is a scale, children, in which it is written the two. It is just an example. You can take it as of your age also, of your age. In 2010, children, you were born. 2011, you started walking. Maybe some rememberable event your mother noted in 2012 that you did. In 2013, 14, 15, 16, and 2017, you are in class 3. Okay, so this timeline helps us to understand, help us to remember things properly, so that the events and the things cannot be forgotten, and it must be written in a proper order. Now what are the uses where the timelines are used? See, these type of timelines are used to understand the order of historic things, means in proper order things, year wise the things can be written and you can learn. Political events also, political events, economic and social trend, everything can be mentioned in a proper order so that you can learn it properly. Now timelines can be used, means suppose let's take an example. If an event happened last year and this year also the same event will happen, maybe on the same date or someday a day above or someday below, what was the duration of the event last time, what is the duration this time, this can be compared very easily using this timeline. Students, you can trace the date, or means if you want to, you can make a timeline like this, time scale like this, in which you can write all the 12 months, and then you can write the date of birth of your all the family members. This is really very helpful. This is going to be really very helpful to learn the date of birth of your all the family members. You can just see the timeline. So this month this particular person's birthday is there. So this is a very small example. This can be used to learn big years also. Means sometimes when you'll grow, you'll study history. In this year this happened, in this year this happened, like this you can make a scale so that you can learn it very easily. And timelines are also used to know the chronology of the universe. Means what in universe what changes are going on. Earlier what was there, now what is being there, can be easily understood with the help of this timeline. Now I hope children the chapter is clear to you, the things are clear. If you have any doubt related to this time, then you can ask me in the comment section. The settings are open. By today evening I'll be sending you the question answers and exercises of the chapter. By the time, you please see the video 2-3 times and try to understand it. If you have any doubt, you can clear. Okay, thank you.